Hello everyone, welcome to Arka Science, and today in this video I will be discussing about the transit of Saturn into the sign of Capricorn in its retrograde motion. On 29th of April 2022, Saturn had already entered the sign of Aquarius, but last month in the month of June 2022, Saturn turned retrograde, and now in its retrograde motion it is going to enter the sign of Capricorn again. On 12th of July 2022, Saturn will re-enter the sign of Capricorn and it will retrograde within the sign of Capricorn, and on 23rd of October 2022, Saturn will turn direct. So from 12th of July till 23rd of October, it's a very significant amount of time when Saturn will be retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. Saturn rules over Capricorn, so this retrograde energy of Saturn will impact every one of us in a broad manner, in a magnified manner. When we talk about the sign Capricorn, Capricorn deals with commitment, hard work, patience, endurance, perseverance. Hard work means any kind of work which we do in our daily life, in daily manner, in some proper order, regulation, discipline, means which has a repetition with proper punctuality and discipline. That is the sign of Capricorn, and here it brings the theme of patience, that how patient are we, how much endurance do we all have got, because doing the same kind of work with the same mentality, same mindset and endurance, it requires a huge amount of patience, correct? It requires a huge amount of commitment. It is not like that you do something today and you leave it tomorrow and again after 5 days you feel that yes, I should do it. No, it is not like that. The sign of Capricorn is like, means you have the propensity to do the same kind of work with same intensity, same hard work, same discipline, and you have that kind of endurance within you. That is what the sign Capricorn is all about, and that type of energy is endowed by Saturn to the sign of Capricorn, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, correct? Now Saturn is retrograde. Now whenever Saturn becomes retrograde and within the transit, the house where it is transiting and the houses which Saturn aspects, because don't forget that Saturn has got 3rd aspect, 7th aspect and 10th aspect. So the house where Saturn is transiting in your horoscope, means as Saturn will re-enter the sign of Capricorn, so wheresoever the sign Capricorn lies in your horoscope, that house and the houses where Saturn aspects, those houses will be under the jurisdiction because of this retrogression of Saturn. Saturn will recheck that are you really committed towards the significance of those parts of your life wheresoever the sign Capricorn lies in your horoscope. Like suppose if we take an example, like for the Libra ascendant people, Capricorn becomes the 4th house, and when Saturn will retrograde back into the 4th house of the sign Capricorn, for the Libra ascendant people, it will look into each and every matter related to home, the place where you live in. It will check the smallest of the smallest details, means it will also check that how are you keeping at your home, are you organizing the each and everything, the place where you live in. Okay, smallest of the smallest details will be checked, and this is a good time where you can reorder the things in a better manner, because it is the time of introspection. Normally retrograde energies of any planet takes us to those areas of our life which we at any time of any part of our life might have had ignored. But when you talk about retrogression of Saturn, it is like it becomes our responsibility. Saturn says that it is your responsibility to take care regarding these things, and now since it is happening in the sign of Capricorn, so Saturn will say it is not only your responsibility but also you require proper duty, proper discipline towards it. It is not like that you took the responsibility for one day. Like suppose it is transiting through the 4th house, so 4th house is the house where you live in. So it will also check that how you are keeping each and everything at your home. Are you cleaning the cleaning or decorating the house, or you are repairing the things which needs to be repaired, or you are keeping the things in order or not? Correct. Means each and everything, small to small details will be checked by Saturn. That is the reason what happens, that since Saturn travels or transits very slowly, so we feel that one day or 2 days is okay, but you never know that when Saturn takes you under its grasp, that is when you feel that yes, the things which should have been checked earlier, but now it has become into a big heap, and now I have to take that responsibility, I have to follow that up. That type of energies normally is seen whenever Saturn becomes retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. See, the thing is very clear. If Saturn becomes retrograde in some other sign, the energy of Saturn will be with respect to the energy of that sign or the significance of that sign. But now, since Saturn is retrograding in the sign of Capricorn, so it will be more towards responsibilities, hard work, commitment, your ability to organize things, reorder things in a better manner. Correct. So it is our you can say that it is a blessing in disguise, I will say, because many a times we in our daily life we do our work, but many a times it may happen that certain things which requires our attention, certain things which requires our concentration, our discipline gets missed out. So Saturn says that don't worry, I am there for you, I will come back, I will retrograde back, and I will check each and every those things, and I will inform you that yes, these are the things which needs to be checked, these are the things which needs to be taken care of. Now it depends completely on ourselves how we take it. The same retrograde energy of Saturn will be interpreted in a different manner. It is completely upon our own perception. You can take it as a blessing in disguise, that the things which you should take care, but you couldn't take care because maybe of some other responsibility or because of some other work or some other issues. Okay, so Saturn will say that don't worry, I am there for you, I will point out those things, and one by one, and I will give you the time also, because Saturn will retrograde very slowly. So that means you will have ample amount of time. It is not like that someone will say, oh my god, Saturn is retrograde for so many amount of days, what will I do? You can think it in this way, or you can think it the other way, that Saturn is retrograding back, and it is retrograding back slowly, so it is giving you ample amount of time to rectify the things. All of a sudden anything will not happen, correct? But yes, as the time will go pass by and go on, you will feel that yes, these are the things which are coming in front of me, and it is asking for my attention, it is asking for my focus. So whenever this kind of things happens, you will understand that yes, maybe it has got something to do with Saturn and its retrogression in the sign of Capricorn. Now wheresoever this sign Capricorn lies in your chart, and from that house, wheresoever Saturn aspects by its third aspect, seventh aspect and 10th aspect, so those are the area of focus and attention during this particular retrogression of Saturn. And that is what Saturn is asking, that yes, you reorder the things, you become more punctual and disciplined, you become more committed towards those things, more dutiful, more responsible, and I am happy. Now you see, it is just like a good friend. Saturn retrogrades back, Saturn points out the things that these are the things to be taken care of. Now it completely depends upon us, our perception, that should we take Saturn as a friend, or we should we take Saturn as a judge, that yes, he is retrograding back, now he will check each and everything very minutely, very nicely, you will scrutinize each and everything. What should I do? You become more disciplined, you become more committed towards the things, become more responsible and dutiful. That is what Saturn is asking. So Saturn will see that yes, this person is doing each and everything correctly. So what happens when you perform each and every responsibilities related to those significance wheresoever the sign Capricorn lies in your chart, because now I am talking about with Capricorn because it is going to enter the sign of Capricorn. So the prime focus will be with respect to the sign of Capricorn, correct? So wheresoever this sign lies, those significance, if you follow up properly, if you perform properly, so what will happen? The moment Saturn turns direct, you will get the results one by one, good results, because you had already performed the things with proper responsibility and duty, and ultimately it will give you very good results, correct? Because that is what Saturn is asking from you. Now it will depend upon our planetary position, it will depend upon, like suppose Saturn is transiting over your moon or Saturn is transiting over any other planet, so definitely it will have some different kind of impact. Whenever Saturn transits over a planet, it normally checks the significance of those planets, and those planets will also be lord of some houses, correct? Like suppose Saturn is transiting over Mars, and suppose Mars is your third lord. So Saturn will check over your efforts also, that you are putting your efforts in which part of your life. Are you doing some good efforts, or are you wasting your time in some nonsense work? Okay, that is also what Saturn will check. That is how what happens, that the same transit gives different kinds of results for every one of us. Like suppose someone will say that that Saturn is a very good planet for me, it's a yoga karaka planet for me, but the transit of Saturn became very difficult for me. Why is it so? It is not like that. Like for one example, for the Taurus ascendant people and for the Libra ascendant people, Saturn is the yoga karaka planet. So Saturn is the lord of the Kendra house and lord of the trinal house, so it's a very good planet. But you have to check that where Saturn is transiting, in which house, over which planet it is transiting, and in your natal horoscope, where do Saturn resides, where do Saturn is posited. It is very essential to understand that, because when we don't check these finer details, we misses out the actual prediction, because the same placement of Saturn can bring different kinds of results for different kinds of native. Okay, and to be more precise, we must check the dasa, because when we check the Mahadasa, Antardasa and Pratyanta Dasa, it gives a clear indication that what area of our life will be predominant during that planetary period, because Dasa means a planetary period. Mahadasa is the major planetary period, Antardasa is the sub planetary sub time period, and Pratyanta Dasa is the sub time period, okay, of any other planet. Okay, now when those planets are activated, the houses which those planets are ruling and the houses where those planets are sitting or aspecting, those area of your life will be more predominant. And suppose if Saturn is transiting through those houses, so what will happen? That you will feel that yes, I am getting the results, or the results or the fructification of those results will be more broadly coming in front of you. Now it can be good results, it can be some difficult results, it will depend upon the placements of the planet, but dasa should always be checked, because that will give you that which area of your life is getting predominant during those particular days or those particular months. And looking into the fact that Saturn retrograde is a big amount of time, it is not a 15 days or 30 days or 45 days, it is a big amount of time starting from 12th of July to 23rd of October. So anytime if you want a consultation from me, check the links in the description section. You can directly mail me through my email ID, or you can connect with me through my Facebook or Instagram accounts. And now I will discuss about the this transit of Saturn back into the sign of Capricorn in its retrograde motion for all the 12 ascendant signs. And it is my request that please check from your ascendant sign and from your moon sign also, because I will be talking about all the 12 zodiacs, means 12 ascendant signs. Now, suppose your ascendant sign is Pisces, then check the Pisces part, and suppose your moon sign is Capricorn, then check that Capricorn part. It will give you an idea that from the ascendant sign, it talks about the physical manifestation of results which is happening in front of you, and how it is impacting you mentally, emotionally. That you can understand from the moon sign. So it is a recommendation that we must check it from your moon sign and ascendant sign both. So first check it from your ascendant sign and then check it from your moon sign. It will give you a clear idea that what are the things are going to happen in front of you and how it is impacting you mentally or emotionally. Okay, so come, let us start. So for the Aries ascendant people, Saturn is the 10th lord, and Saturn will be retrograding back into your 10th house in the sign of Capricorn. So when you talk about the 10th house, it is the basically the house of karma, our work environment, whatever way we do our work and the place where we do our work. It can be related to our profession, career. So new kind of responsibilities may all of a sudden become in front of us, and here this is a very good opportunity that we can follow our duties and responsibility, which can ultimately lead to rise in status and reputation at our work environment. Yes, to some extent initially you may feel that all of a sudden it's becoming very difficult to manage the timings, and because work pressure will be increasing in front of you. But don't forget that Saturn is your 10th lord, so whatever work is coming in front of you, it is meant to be done, and if you do it properly with proper time management and punctuality, it will ultimately lead to good results in upcoming days. So in this way, this can be taken as a good transit, because when new kind of opportunities come in front of us, new opportunities brings new kind of responsibilities. So we have to take it in this way, because ultimately in order to get success, proper success, and long lived success, this kind of transits proves to be very vital. And since Saturn is a slow moving planet, so it gives results for longer amount of time. So you can take it as an opportunity and bring down your ability to make more work to be done in lesser amount of time. But yes, since Saturn is a slow moving planet, so it will happen like that. You may feel that yes, I am taking a lot of time. So what you can do, you can plan your work according to your whatever projects you are taking or whatever projects you are getting. Plan your work accordingly and bring it down slowly, and then you will find, yes, that the work is getting done and you are getting ultimate success. Okay, so initially it can be a bit tiresome, but slowly it will give you very good results. Now this Saturn will be aspecting your 12th house, 4th house and 7th house. And when we talk about the 4th house and 7th house, you see Mars is also transiting in your first house. So what will happen, Mars and Saturn both are aspecting your 4th house of happiness, your home environment, your domestic peace, mental security, and your 7th house of marriage, relationship, mass fame. Okay, your legal bindings, your partnerships, your business partnerships, basically contracts. So here I will say that you have to take extra care or special care with respect to your domestic happiness, mental peace, and your marital life also, because certain conflicting energies can be there, because Mars and Saturn are when you talk about the energies of Mars and Saturn, they are a bit conflicting with each other. Okay, so at times there can be situation at your home with related to domestic happiness or marital happiness. You may feel that yes, certain kind of things are erupting in front of you, which are quite conflicting, means differences of opinions can be there, some disputes can be there. Okay, so you have to tackle them very tactfully, okay, and unnecessary, don't go into any kind of arguments or disputes. Rather, I will say that take active participation to make sure that you are taking care and responsibility of your relationships at your home. Also take care regarding the health of your spouse, take care regarding the health of your mother during this particular time. And since seventh house is also the house of contracts, mass fame, the other people, so how you are dealing with the other people, how you are dealing with your partners, that is also a very important time during this time. Make sure that you are negotiating well, because at times it may feel like that it's my way or highway, okay, so this kind of feelings can be there. But I will say that when it comes to negotiation, it should be it should have something common between you and your partners, correct? So these are the things has to be taken care of, because Saturn is retrograde. So this kind of things will come in front of you more often during this particular transit of Saturn. That is from 12th of July till 23rd of October, till Saturn is retrograde in Capricorn. Okay, and another thing is that it will be looking into your 12th house. Yes, 12th house also is the house of loss, and 12th house is also the house of faraway land. So it can happen that due to this retrogression of Saturn, it may happen that you may need to travel to some faraway lands with respect to your job or profession. And yes, during this particular time, I will also say that make sure that you don't do a lot of expenditures, okay. Try to curb down your expenditures during this particular time, then it will be a very good results giving with respect to this transit. Okay, so that's it for the Aries ascendant people. For the Taurus ascendant people, Saturn is transiting in your ninth house in the retrograde motion in the sign of Capricorn, and Saturn is the ninth lord itself. When we talk about the retrogradation of Saturn in the sign of Capricorn in ninth house, the most important part here is that ninth house is the house of our belief system, our higher spiritual knowledge. So this is a retrograde transit which completely deals with relearning, means learning the things which we have already learned, because sometimes what happens that we know something, but we must rectify it, we must retrospect or introspect into the things which we have already learned. Okay, so here Saturn is saying that you have to follow up your dharma, you have to follow up your law, follow up your righteousness and your belief system also. So you, when you learn new things, when you retrospect on your own spiritual knowledge, higher knowledge, you will understand that yes, these are the things which must to be given more attention, more focus, because this is the transit of cleansing. It cleanses us from within, because Saturn is such a beautiful planet which rectifies each and every faults within us. And since it is transiting within ninth house, I will say it is a very beautiful transit, because it is not only giving us an opportunity to learn new things, but also rectify the things which are already taken within us in a wrong manner. So here Saturn will say yes, see, these are the things which has to be given more attention, these are the things which has to be put forward in more nicer way. So in this transit, it is a very wonderful time that you can have a beautiful moments with your father, with your guru, with your preceptor, so that you can learn new things, and they will show you the path that yes, that these are the things which has to be rectified, or these are the things has to be corrected, so you can learn new things. And suppose if you are already into education fraternity, or suppose you are into higher learning, then trust me, this particular transit of Saturn will not only give you higher level of commitment, higher level of discipline, but also it will make a new path within you and set your goals and ambitions, because ninth house is the house of divinity, it is also the house of fortune, prosperity, and it is the house of basically the divine protection. So when we learn new things, when we know new things, we know the that yes, there that something divine is there which is always protecting us, correct? So this transit of Saturn can help you in this way, that you can learn new things. And another thing is that suppose if you are into some kind of Vedic rituals or religious customs or tradition, then this particular transit will help you more to go along with those kind of rituals and customs, to know new kind of things, new kind of scriptures, mantras, and okay, this kind of things can help you in this way. Another thing is that since ninth house is also the house of long distance travels, religious discourses. Okay, so it may happen that you may move to some faraway places, you may move to some kind of long distance travels can happen, and that can help you out in learning new things and also visiting new kind of religious communities. And yes, ultimately it will give you more enlightenment, and I will say it's a wonderful transit. Make the most out of it. Now, this Saturn will aspect your third house and sixth house. Now, when we talk about the third house and sixth house, these are the houses where Mars will also aspect. So both Mars and Saturn will aspect your third house and sixth house. So that means your efforts and hard work will be activated. So this is a beautiful time that not only learning but also put your efforts, put your hard work in correct places in order to have a better amount of fulfillment of wishes and fulfillment of desires in your life, because Saturn will also aspect your 11th house of fulfillment of desires. So that means, being the ninth lord transiting through the ninth house in the retrograde motion, it is activating your efforts, your hard work, and also your gains. So that means it's a very beautiful time where you can also prove yourself. You learn new thing, you practice new thing, you get the blessings of your preceptor and apply it in your real life, in your practical world, and have your fulfillment of desires done in your life. So it's a big amount of time when Saturn will be transiting through the sign of Capricorn. So make the most out of it. I will say it is a good time to practice the things which you feel that yes, this can uplift me in the upcoming days. And it is also a good time to set down the things which is not necessary for you, and absorb the knowledge, absorb the enlightening forces which can uplift you not only as an individual but also for the society where you want to spread your knowledge. Okay, so that's it for the Taurus ascendant people. For the Gemini ascendant people, I will say this Saturn will be transiting in the retrograde motion in your 8th house. Saturn, this transit in the sign of Capricorn for the Gemini people, I will say it is a time where Saturn will indicate that yes, which are the certain things which you can take care regarding your health, which are the certain things which you can take care regarding the deeper aspects of your life, the things which the thoughts or the inner feelings which you feel that these are the things which must be taken care of. This Saturn will retrograde back and it will come forward those things in front of you, and it will help you out to tackle those things in a more proper manner. Now, since this transit of Saturn is a very slow one, so it will give you ample amount of time to take care of your health. It will give you that ample amount of time to go through those deeper thoughts, though such kind of deeper insecurities or deeper fears which you may feel that is there within you, but you don't have the answer to it. Correct. So sometimes what happens, we feel that fear, but we are also in the search of the solutions. This Saturn will help you out to find the solutions, because it is retrograding back and it will also aspect your 5th house. Since it is aspecting your 5th house, so it is also a time to learn new things. You face the challenges, you learn new things, and you are ever ready for those challenges in the upcoming days in your life. So I will say that this kind of transits are also essential in our life, because it helps us to be more perfect, because sometimes unpredictable events which happens in our life which is completely related to the 8th house, sometimes we are not ready for those sudden ups and downs, we are not ready for those unpredictability. Correct. But this Saturn will say that don't worry, even if such kind of events will happen, I am there to teach you, I am there to make you ready for those kind of events, because anytime if it happens in upcoming future, you are always ready for it, you are always sufficient for it. Okay, so this kind of transits are also helpful to you in this way, and since it is the 8th lord, so it is always there to help you out. Now, since 8th house is also the house of sudden ups and downs, it is also the house of longevity. So I will say you that you must take care of your health during this particular time. In fact, you can take up some healthy practices. You can take some proper meditative practices, spirituality, okay, and that can help you out in building up your health. Secondly, since 8th house is a part of moksha trikon, so any kind of spiritual growth or spiritual way of living can help you out, not only physically but also psychologically and mentally. Now, 8th house is second from the 7th house. That means it is the house of marital life, okay, or the life of your relationship. Or suppose if you are in a business partnership, so 8th house will talk about the joint assets, 8th house will talk about the contracts and how you are dealing with them, okay. 8th house also deals with your in-laws. So these are the sectors of your life, parts of your life where new kind of responsibilities will come in front of you, because Saturn here is saying that yes, when you are perfect in this kind of responsibilities, it will fulfill certain amount of dreams in your life, because it will make sure that those sectors of your life are okay and fine, and you have complete command over them. Now suppose if you are happy in your married life, so what will happen ultimately, it will help you out because your spouse will help you out in certain things. It will, you will feel that someone is there with me in every challenges of my life. So this is the time where you must be more dutiful, more responsible towards your spouse, towards your business partners, or towards means any kind of legal bindings you had with any kind of person. So this kind of energies will be more proactive during this particular time. Another thing, since Saturn will aspect your second house, your 10th house, and your fifth house, so that means this is the time when I will say that you must be very careful regarding your expenses and finances. Unnecessary expenditures has to be curbed down, because 8th house is sudden ups and downs. So you take one decision without thinking, and that decision can come against you. So I will say you that be very careful when you are dealing with your finances. Specifically your budget making should be proper during this particular time. And yes, be very careful with your speech, because not only Saturn, Mars will also aspect your second house by its fourth aspect, okay. So your speech with your family members, your speech with your spouse, with your partners, and with your in-laws, be very careful regarding them, that how you are speaking with them, how you are conversing with them. Your conversations has to be very logical, very proper, okay. It should not be like that you said something and later on you may feel that I said something which I should not have said, okay. So work according to that, okay. That will give you a very good results. And since Saturn will be aspecting your 10th house of work, career, and profession by its third aspect, yes, it also indicates that you have to put some extra efforts at your work sector. Means since it is transiting through the 8th house, so some unpredictable events may all of a sudden come up, some new kind of responsibilities can all of a sudden come in front of you at your workplace. So this kind of responsibilities you have to tactfully tackle them during this particular phase of time, because it may happen that you may suddenly feel that I was not expecting this. But I will say you that sometimes it happens that when you follow up this kind of challenges, it not only makes you flexible, it also makes you very strong, okay. So be prepared for it, make a proper planner, make a proper management regarding this, and that will ultimately help you out, okay. So that's it for the Gemini ascendant people. For the Cancer ascendant people, Saturn will be transiting in your 7th house as the 7th lord in the retrograde motion in the sign of Capricorn. And I will say that since 7th house is the house of relationships, 7th house is the house of bindings, bondings, okay, relationship with your spouse, partners, and overall the relationships, okay. And it is the also the house of marriage, your spouse, wife or husband, okay. It is the house of mass fame also, okay. Now I will say that here, since Saturn is retrograde and it is the 7th lord itself, so since Capricorn deals with the fact that commitment, discipline, punctuality, perseverance, patience, these are the things which will be very much coming in front of you with respect to your relationships, with respect to your marriage, with respect to your business partnerships. Okay. Now, in your married life, suppose if you are in a marriage or you are in a relationship, then you will all of a sudden you will feel that there are some kind of limitations, there are some kind of restrictions coming in front of you with respect to you and your partner. So at times you may feel that my relationships are becoming very conservative in nature. It is binding me, it is restricting me to behave in a independent manner. So I will say, take it in this way, that this is also increasing your responsibilities towards your partner. Okay, so that way, if you can take care more of your spouse, if you can take care regarding the luxuries and comforts of your spouse, that will give you much more better results. Not only that, suppose if you are in any kind of relationship, if you are taking care regarding that person in one way or the other, in that way Saturn can give you very good blessings, Saturn can give very good results. Not only that, this Saturn will look onto your first house, ninth house, and your fourth house. So it will look directly onto your personality and health. It will look onto your directly your bhagya, means your luck, fortune, your dharma, and your mental peace and happiness. That is the fourth house. So that means when you perform your duties towards the other person, you are performing your duties towards the your marital life or relationship or your spouse. That is not only giving you a very good authoritative position, not only giving you a very good reputation, because now the other person will respect you because of your work, because of your that the ability to take care of everything. Okay, because since you are performing a responsibility, that will not only increase your respect, but also it will increase your personality, and it will give you a very good personality in front of the whole world, because other people will know that this person is the one who is able to take up all the responsibilities and he is the perfect person to deal with. Okay, so this kind of feelings may come in front of the other person. So if you take up your responsibilities, that is not only increasing your personality, but also help you out in the upcoming days, because Saturn will look onto your ninth house. So it is saying that if you want to increase your fortune, if you want to increase your prosperity and that divinity, then put your responsibility, take up your duties and follow it with proper management, I will say. And in one way or the other, that will also help you out maintaining the domestic happiness and peace, because Saturn will look onto your fourth house also. Not only that, as of now Saturn and Mars both are looking onto your first house and fourth house. So this is a very vital time, I will say, that yes, you have to take care regarding those kind of things, because more you take care regarding this kind of things, it will ultimately increase your happiness and increase your own personality. It will also take you away from anxiety, because if you don't do so, then this kind of problems may come. Okay, so this is it for the Cancer ascendant people. For the Leo ascendant people, Saturn will be transiting in your sixth house. Now, sixth house is the house of service. Basically, when we talk about, and Saturn is the planet of service, because Saturn says that when you perform the work, when you perform your duty, you are performing it with the help of that Almighty, the power of the Almighty. So you should always have the mentality of servitude away from your ego. Means Saturn says that shed your ego, just follow your servitude, follow the service, whatever work is given to you, just do it in front of you, and ultimately it will give you very good results. And normally it is seen that whenever Saturn transits through the third house, sixth house, or 11th house, it gives very good results. And in the sixth house, Saturn transit gives normally very good results, and it is retrograding in your sixth house in the sign of Capricorn, and Saturn is the sixth lord itself. So that means for the Leo ascendant people, Saturn being the sixth lord will give you the enough opportunity and enough power and strength to follow your work. Means wherever you are you are working, suppose you are doing any job, you are working in a work environment under some authority or under some people. So what will happen, it will give you that proper strength to follow down your work, to work it upon in some proper time management and punctuality. It will make you very hardworking, and you will feel that yes, I am able to do multiple works at the same time. Okay, so it is making you a multitasking personality, and that will not only give you success at your work environment, but also it will also channelize your energy in some proper manner. Secondly, since it is the house of service, suppose many people are working under you, you are the boss, suppose you are the boss and many people are working under you. So I will say here Saturn will indicate that you must take care of your subordinates, you must be very much available to the people working under you. They should be happy. Your colleagues should be happy, your sub-workers, your co-workers should be happy with you. So that is how Saturn will give you very good results. Saturn is saying that since you are means since Saturn is transiting through the house of service and hard work, so it will give you very good results when you are cooperating with others and also not hesitating to take the cooperation from others. Correct. So in that way, this transit of Saturn will give you very good results. Another thing, since Saturn is transiting through the sixth house, I will also say that I will add to it that take care of your health, because sixth house is also a Dostana house. It is the basically the house of diseases, enemies, and debts. Since Saturn is transiting through the sixth house, it will allow you to clear off your debts. It will allow you to get victory over your opponents. Okay, but it is also essential during this particular time that you should also take care of your health. Okay, don't hurry into anything, because sixth house is also the house of injuries. Okay, so don't hurry into any kind of things. Plan your work, plan your circumstances in such a way that you are able to complete it within the 24 hours, within the day, or within a span of time. Okay, in that way it will give you very good results, because Saturn will look onto your 12th house and 8th house also, sitting from the sixth house. It will aspect the 8th house by its third aspect and 12th house by its seventh aspect. So that means it is activating the 6, 8, 12. So one mistake and you are into some kind of trap. So you can't do any mistakes. So what you can do is that you can plan your events. So very essential that you take care of your health during this particular time. Okay, so that is how this transit can give you very good results. For the Leo ascendant people, another thing is that Saturn will also look onto your third house by its 10th aspect. So that means it is saying that if you can put up regular efforts in one kind of work, that can give you success whenever you are into any kind of competitive environment, because sixth house is also the house of competition. So regular efforts are very much essential. So that is what Saturn is saying here. So that's it for the Leo ascendant people. For the Virgo ascendant people, Saturn will be transiting in your fifth house in the retrograde motion as the fifth lord in the sign of Capricorn. So here Saturn is saying that this is also the house of learning. Fifth house is also the house of learning, just like ninth house. Okay, ninth house was the house of higher learning, higher spiritual learning, our belief system. Similarly, fifth house is also the house of higher intelligence in one way or the other, and it is also the house of learning, because fifth house is ninth from the ninth house. Okay, so in one way you can say that, suppose any kind of specialized education or anything which you want to learn, any type of creative skill set which you want to work upon, or the talents which you already have within you but you are ignorant about it, or you are not giving specific time about it, this Saturn can give you enough time. It can give you new kind of thoughts that yes, you can be very good at your own talents, you can be very good at your own creativity, so work upon it, learn new things. So this is not only a good time to improvise your creativity, but also learn new kind of education. Suppose if you are a student, or suppose you are associated with any kind of education fraternity, or you are reading, writing, publishing, or anything related to that, this transit of Saturn will give you not only good results with respect to that, but also you will be able to feel that yes, I am able to focus more, I am able to give more disciplined approach and committed approach to learn new things. Okay, that can be with respect to your creativity, that can be with respect to your studies also. Now suppose if you are a worker, you are working somewhere, so your skills will give the ultimate output, how smartly you can work upon things. See, you can do the same work in 1 hour, you can do the same work in 2 hours, but suppose if you can do smartly the same thing in 1 hour with all the aspects correctly taken down, then that will not only save your time but also give you the confidence that yes, you have the ability to work upon certain things in a better manner. Correct. So in that way, this transit of Saturn can be very good. Another thing, fifth house is also the house of joy and pleasure. It is also the house of our mentality. Correct. What we are from within, that is also fifth house. It is also the house of ego. So here Saturn is saying that you have to set down your ego. You have to set down your arrogance and ignorance, because that is when you are paving the new way, you're opening the new door to learn new things, to take up new kind of knowledge. Okay, so this is a wonderful opportunity to set down your ego, because that is when you are able to focus more on your creativity and talent. So it is giving you a very nice approach to put down yourself in front of the whole world, but slow by slow, step by step, learn new things and gain your confidence. Okay, so in that way you can find your joy and pleasure. And another thing, since fifth house is also the house of romance, love affairs, romantic relationships, so here Saturn will also ask you to have more responsibility towards your love relationship. Suppose if you are into a love relationship, or you are thinking to go into a love relationship, then this retrogression of Saturn will ask for a greater amount of responsibility and commitment towards your partner, towards the other person. Okay, so in that way you have to be very careful, because Saturn by its third aspect will look onto your seventh house of relationships. So fifth house is love and romance, seventh house is relationships. So both the houses are activated by Saturn. So in one way or the other, this Saturn is asking for more duty, commitment and responsibilities. So if you are able to follow it up, then only you should go into that love relationship. And if you are already into a love relationship, then it is asking for more responsibilities. Okay, so you have to take care regarding those kind of things, then only this Saturn will give you very good results. Another thing, when you are working upon your education, studies, creativity, ultimately it will help you to work upon on your efforts, correct? So that is when your desires gets fulfilled. So that is what Saturn is saying, that it is looking directly into 11th house of fulfillment of desires, and where Mars is also looking from the 8th house. Okay, at present Mars is transiting in your 8th house, and it is also looking into your 11th house. So it may happen that through your efforts, through your hard work and through your education, learning and creativity, you can apply the amalgamated form of all those in your work and ultimately get your fulfillment of desires, correct? Saturn will look onto your second house, although it is the fifth lord, it is looking into your second house, but still I will say that it is a good opportunity to take care of your finances and budget making. Don't do any kind of unnecessary expenditures. Okay, in that way this transit of Saturn will be very beneficial for the Virgo ascendant people. For the Libra ascendant people, Saturn will be transiting in your fourth house, and it is the fourth lord retrograding back into the sign of Capricorn. Means Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is the fourth lord. Uh, I will say that this is a time when you need to be very much focused regarding the family responsibilities, your domestic responsibilities towards the place where you live in. It can be the smallest of the details, I will say. It can be like from renovating your house or repairing the things which is meant to be done, or even smallest of the that how you keep your house clean. Okay, these are the smallest things where Saturn will look into the fact. So since it is transiting through this sign of Capricorn in the fourth house, in the means where you live in the house, that is the fourth house. So Saturn will say that first of all, make everything very much ordered and organized at your home, the place where you live in, because when everything is beautiful, everything is clean, everything is organized, it can ultimately uplift your happiness, it can ultimately uplift your mental peace. Not only that, Saturn is also asking to have more committed responsibility towards your mother. Okay, because when you follow up your responsibilities towards your mother, it is also giving you that love, care, nourishment. Okay, that divine blessing of your mother. So it is a wonderful time to follow up this kind of duties, and that can give you not only good results for now, but also it will act like a blessing in your upcoming days. Saturn will directly look onto your first house, your personality, your health. So when you are happy at your domestic front, then only your personality will speak with confidence. Your personality will help you out in the upcoming days to come in your work environment, because Saturn will look into your 10th house of work environment also. So your confidence will speak for you. So when you are happy from within, you are confident, you are straightforward, you know that yes, these are the things to be done in one way or the other in a correct manner. So one thing is associated with another thing. So here Saturn is saying that try to have a proper approach at your home environment. Try to settle down your mental peace. Try to increase your mental securities. Try to be more happy. So in for that, for making yourself more happy, there are certain things to be done. So what are the things to be done? That things will all of a sudden come in front of you, so you have to solve it one by one. And that is what Saturn is asking, that when you are correctly following your duties and responsibilities, ultimately you are free from any kind of stress and anxiety. And when you are free from those stresses, you are ultimately free, you are ultimately happy. So there are no bindings, there are no boundings. So that's the reason fourth house is also the one of the houses of moksha trikon. Correct. It is, although it is the house of happiness, but it is also a part of moksha trikon. So that is how it works. Correct. So I will say that this is a very good transit. And yes, since it is looking into your 10th house, so work like experiences, new kind of work like experiences will come in front of you. You can take it as an opportunity to work upon it, because when you take new work opportunities and you follow it with duties and responsibilities, it not only increases your status and reputation, but also it gives you new kind of authority, because you know that I can do this work better than anyone. So this kind of mentality will come in front of you only when you take the new responsibilities, new opportunities, and work on it with proper hard work and efforts. Okay, so that's how I will say that this transit will help you out. And don't forget that your first house and 10th house will be aspected by Saturn and Mars both. So take care regarding your health also, and take care regarding anything related to your workplace. Don't go into any kind of unnecessary disputes at your workplace. Just follow up your work. Okay, by that way it will give you very good results. So that's it for the Libra ascendant people. For the Scorpio ascendant people, Saturn will be transiting in your third house as the third lord in the retrograde motion in the sign of Capricorn. Now, Saturn, whenever it transits through the third house, it normally gives you very good results, I will say. Because third house is the house of efforts, third house is the house of courage, bravery. Whatever work you do, in that work, we all of us need some kind of efforts. Without our efforts, no work can be fulfilled. Correct. It is our, means what we do in the physical world, what we manifest ourselves, that is the third house. And Saturn is the karmadhipati. Saturn knows how a work can be done. So you can understand how beautiful this transit is, that the planet of work, the planet of karma is transiting through the house of efforts. So you can use the Saturnian energies in your efforts. So since Saturn is a slow planet, so what you can do, you can plan your efforts. All of a sudden, don't take up huge amount of projects. That is, I will work on multiple projects, I will work upon this, I will work upon that. No, don't do that. What Saturn is saying, that I will accomplish each and everything in your life, but for that, plan the things. Take work upon shorter steps. Okay, take up your efforts in some small projects. Do your work in some step by step manner. Work upon things in that way, that will give you very much good results. Because when you get success in one of your projects, it will increase your confidence. So you are more confident, you are more brave in order to take other projects. It will not only increase your courage, it will also give you that that confidence to take up multiple work one by one. So that one by one work can be actually understood by that Saturnian behavior. So that is what Saturn is asking you when you put up your efforts. And don't forget, third house is also the house of creative talents. Third house is also the house of hobbies. So you can put your efforts in your hobbies, you can put your efforts on your creative talents, anything which you feel that yes, I can do it very easily. That is third house. Correct. Like suppose someone can play a piano, somebody can be a very good writer, or somebody can be a very good sculptor. Correct. So that is third house. So anything which is very easy to you, that is third house. Or someone can be a very good speaker. Okay, so that is third house. So this Saturn will help you out to not only learn new things through your experiences. See, that is the difference between third house and fifth house. Third house teaches you through your experiences, because when you put your efforts you learn new things. So that is Saturn is saying that don't hurry, be slow but be perfect. Okay, you don't need to do 10 things one time, but do one thing and make it equivalent to the 10 things. Okay, so that will make you a very powerful and worthy regarding the things which you know better than anyone. And yes, one more thing, Saturn will be also looking onto your immediate environments, because third house is your immediate environment, the people with whom you meet in daily contact. So since Saturn is transiting through your third house, so I will say that the people with whom you meet in daily contact, like it can be your siblings, it can be your neighborhood, it can be the people with whom you meet in everyday means in daily basis. Okay, so don't go into any kind of arguments with them, don't go into any kind of unnecessary disputes with them. There can be some kind of differences of opinion between them and you. Okay, so try to avoid them. Okay, since it is also the house of communication, how you communicate with people, so that's the reason it is essential. Okay, third house is also the house of short travels, relocation, and Saturn will look onto your ninth house of long travels, ninth house of prosperity, divinity, your father, your guru. Okay, so there can be a possibility of travels also during this particular time, but I will say that suppose if you are learning new things from your elders, from your father or your guru or your preceptor, so try to listen them, try to understand them, because Saturn will be directly opposite to ninth house in the third house. So don't go into any kinds of arguments or misunderstandings with them. Try to follow them, try to listen to them, try to understand them, because that will not only give you a good path in your life, but also it will clarify the confusions and also give you proper energy to put your efforts in the correct path. Okay, so that will act as a great advice for you. Okay, so that's it for the Scorpio ascendant people. For the Sagittarius ascendant people, Saturn will be transiting in your second house of your wealth, values, culture, tradition, your family, your speech. Okay, so I will say that Saturn is the second lord transiting in the retrograde motion in the sign of Capricorn, and this is a time when you need to have proper duty and responsibility towards your family values and culture. It will help you to uplift and follow your tradition and culture in a more committed manner. This is also a very good time to have proper look over your budget, over your finances, over your economy. This is not a time for superficial expenditures, this is not a time for any kind of wasteful spendings. Okay, in fact this is the time where you can look onto your budget and you can invest the money for long term returns. See, whenever Saturn is impacting your second house of wealth, and especially it is the second lord and retrograding, so I will say that this is the time where you can invest your finances with proper budget management for long term returns. Okay, this is not the time of expenditures, this is not the time of wasteful expenditures. So you can make proper financial decisions, you can make proper budget management, means look onto your money and then invest it in a proper manner and for long term returns. That will give you very good results. And yes, since it is also the house of values, your speech, so I will say that whenever you speak, whatever you say, whatever you converse with, or any kind of conversation specifically with your family members or elders of your family, it should be with proper discipline, it should be with proper respect, proper commitment. That will give you very good results, because the Saturn will look onto your 8th house also. So second house is your fixed asset, 8th house is your joint asset, correct? So your asset management has to be done very nicely, and that can only be done when you have a proper budget, when you have a proper financial mind. Okay, so in that way you can be very good in it. And 8th house is also the in-laws, means so, and your marital life, and second house is your family. So you have to be very responsible towards your family, towards your in-laws, and towards your marital life also. Now, since Saturn is also a planet which can enhance your spiritual growth, and it is looking into your 8th house. So at a time you can be spiritual, and at a time it can be very materialistic also. Means since it is transiting through the 2nd house, so you can look onto your money matters, finances, wealth, values, okay. But again, at the same time, when you are of your own, when you are alone, when you are in solitude or isolation, you can also take up the spiritual way of living. That is how Saturn is aspecting your 8th house, okay. So in that way you can bring a proper balance in your life. So that's it for the Sagittarius ascendant people. For the Capricorn ascendant people, Saturn will be transiting over your 1st house, over your Lagna ascendant as the first lord in the sign of Capricorn in the retrograde motion. I will say it's a very important transit for you, because last time when Saturn was transiting in the sign of Capricorn and now it is transiting, both are different. Now there is no affliction over Saturn as of now, because Mars is in the 4th house, okay, and there are no other malefic impacts falling over Saturn. So what is happening now? Saturn is all powerful as the Lagna lord, so now it will be able to help you out to take up more responsibilities, and yes, your efforts will be accomplished. So now you can feel that yes, I can take up my efforts, and that will give me results in coming days to come. Because you see, Saturn is a slow moving planet, so all of a sudden overnight anything will not happen. So it will give you the ideas, it will give you the proper decision making approach and thoughts in a serious manner, in a committed manner, and you work upon it day by day, and a time will come when you will feel yes, that my work is getting to success, my work is getting into accomplishment. So take up small projects, don't take up a long project, because what will happen, since Saturn is a slow planet, and if you take a long project, you will keep on doing it. A time will come when you will become frustrated, you will feel that I'm not getting the results. So it's better, take small projects, step by step working. That step by step working will not only give you proper confidence, it will improve your personality, it will improve your punctuality and management, because Saturn will look onto your 3rd house of efforts. So it will make you do hard work, it will make you do your work in a proper way, correct. Now it depends upon what kind of work are you choosing. You are choosing a very long term work. If you are choosing a very long term work, then it can make you a bit frustrated. So take a smaller projects, that will give you very good results. It is also looking onto your 10th house of hard work, your work environment, your profession and career. So suppose if you are working with proper punctuality, proper time management, and you are improving on your health also, working on your health also, so what will happen, you will be able to complete your work on time, and that will be also be recognized by your authorities and superiors. So that will also increase your fame, name, reputation and status. So that will be good for your reputation also. In that way you can make the most of it. Saturn will look onto your 7th house of your married life, your relationship. It can be your spouse also, it can be your relationship in any kind of relationship, okay, your spouse or wife or husband or business partners also. As of now, Mars is also looking onto your 7th house of married life, correct. So this is the time when you need to be very careful regarding your marriage, regarding your relationships, regarding any kind of business proposals, or how you are dealing with other people. Suppose if you are not married, suppose you are not in a relationship, so how this will impact you? This will impact you that how you are dealing with other people. So you should be more grounded, you should be more understanding towards the other people. That is what Saturn is asking you to be. The mentality of servitude should always be there. It should not be like that, it's my way or highway. No, that is not what 7th house is. 7th house is that my opinion can be different, your opinion can be different, but we can work together into some point which is common between us. Okay, so that's what Saturn is asking from you. Okay, in that way that will give you very good results. So make the most out of it. That's it for the Capricorn ascendant people. For the Aquarius ascendant people, Saturn will be transiting in the retrograde motion in your 12th house as the 12th lord. And Saturn is also your Lagna lord. So here Lagna lord transiting through the 12th house. So first of all, here I will say that you must take care regarding your health. This is the first thing. And Saturn will also aspect your 2nd house, So your health has to be taken care of, and also you need to be take extra care regarding your finances also during this particular time. But since Saturn is the 12th lord itself, so what will happen, it will give you a very spiritual way of living during this particular time. So you can apart from the normal lifestyle, you can also take up the spiritual way of living. Any kind of yogic practices, any kind of meditative practices can be very good during this particular time. This transit also indicates that you can also move to some faraway lands. You can move to some kind of travels can be seen to some faraway lands can also be seen during this particular time, because Saturn is the Lagna rod, so it may directly impact your personality. You may feel that yes, I can join some spiritual community, I can start some spiritual way of living. Okay, starting in some foreign place, starting in some other place. Okay, so this kind of things can be seen during this particular time with respect to Saturn during this particular transit. Another thing is that Saturn is also the significator of 10th house. Saturn is also the significator of karma, work, and it is in the 12th house of loss. So what is happening? You may feel that I am working a lot, I'm cooperating the other person, I'm doing all the services, I'm doing each and everything on time and perfectly, but I'm not getting the recognition for it. So that is what Saturn is indicating here, is that don't go for any kind of expectations during, as of now, during this transit. Just do your work, just do your service, just do and follow your responsibilities and duties. Okay, do the charities and the things which needs to be done for the other people. Okay, just do it, because when this Saturn comes back again to Aquarius, that will increase your name, fame, and reputation, because first house is also the house of general name and fame. Correct. So now it may happen that you are following up your responsibilities and your duties, but you are not getting the recognition for it. But don't forget, Saturn will have each and everything recorded in its own notebook. Saturn knows that yes, this person is the perfect, this person has done all the things properly during this particular time. Yes, he might have not got the recognition for it, but for that Saturn is there. Saturn knows that yes, I will give you that. Just follow your duties, just follow your proper committed responsibilities towards the things which you need to do. Another thing is that Saturn will directly look onto your 6th house. So this also indicates that you must take care regarding your health. You must be very much careful regarding your hard work. Saturn is also saying that do the ample amount of hard work. Don't do anything so much excess that can be something adverse to your health. Means you should have a proper balance towards your own life, towards your own personality, towards your own health, and at the same time you should have a proper balance towards your hard work also. Hard work towards your service, towards your job, and this will give you a proper balanced life, and towards your spirituality also, spiritual way of living. So that can give you a very good way of following up this transit. Saturn will also look onto your 9th house by its 10th aspect. So that means some kind of long distance travels can be seen during this particular transit of Saturn. So it may happen that means any kind of spiritual discourses, or you may find a proper preceptor or guru in some faraway lands in order to learn some new kind of spiritual or religious knowledge during this particular transit of Saturn in your 12th house. In that way, this transit will give you a very good results. Okay, and yes, since Saturn will be looking onto your 2nd house by its 3rd aspect, so try to avoid any kind of unnecessary expenditures and maintain proper budget. That will give you very good results. Okay, so that's it for the Aquarius ascendant people. For the Pisces ascendant people, Saturn will be transiting in your 11th house as the 11th lord in the sign of Capricorn in the retrograde motion. So all of a sudden here Saturn is indicating that your work, your ability to put your efforts and your hard work can lead to some kind of gains and fulfillment of desires in your life. So that is what this retrogression of Saturn is also indicating. It is also indicating that when you work with your network circle, when you work in a project along with other peoples with the sense of cooperation, commitment and service, that will give you much more results, because that is what this Saturn is asking for. When you are service oriented, when you are committed, responsible, and at the same time you have a proper amount of patience to work with different kinds of people. Because sometimes what happens, you may feel that I can do it all my own, but Saturn is saying that if you want to complete it, you want to get success over it, then you must have the sense of cooperation, and that will not only give you good results as of now, but also it will give you a very good sense of discipline and commitment between you and your project members. Specifically, when Saturn, being your 12th lord and 11th lord, transiting in the 11th house in the retrograde motion, this also indicates, suppose if you are associated with any kind of MNCs, multinational companies, or suppose if you are associated with any kind of big institutions which are located far away from the place where you are working. Okay, in that way also you can have a lot and lot of gains from those kind of companies. Or suppose you are associated with any kind of foreign clients, okay, you have some foreign clients. In that way also, your sense of cooperation, your commitment and sense of duty and responsibilities can not only give you good results from them, but also it will increase the gains for upcoming days to come. Okay, in that way this Saturn will give you good results. Okay, Saturn will aspect your fifth house, so it will give you some kind of sense of responsibility, that yes, you have to also work upon your creative skill set, your education, your learning. Means apart from working in your projects, apart from working with your work environment, with the people, with big organizations, big companies, Saturn is also saying that if you want to have a proper result, if you want to have a proper success and proper results at your work, you also need to have proper learning. Correct. So here Saturn is saying that learn the new things, be more well equipped with your creative skill set, creative talents, and that will help you out to express yourself in front of your work, in front of your work management, with your network circle and whatever projects you are doing. Okay, in that way it will give you good results. And yes, Saturn will look into your eighth house. So here I will say that looking into your eighth house, and Saturn will also look onto your first house. So here I will say that you must take care of your health. Healthcare is very essential during this particular time, and this is also a good time to have a proper managing proper things at your marital life also, and maintaining proper relationship with your in-laws, and also maintaining the joint assets in a proper manner. Okay, so in that way this particular transit of Saturn will give you good results for the Pisces ascendant people. So you have seen that how this transit of Saturn is going to be for every one of us in its retrograde motion in the sign of Capricorn. And if you have liked this video, press the like button and share it to your near and dear ones. And if you are new to this channel, tap onto the subscribe button, click onto the notification bell icon, so that every time I make a new video you get notified instantly. And your comments are always welcome to me. Do write down your opinions and queries. It's a source of inspiration for me. And anytime if you want a consultation from me, check the links in the description section. You can mail me directly through my email ID, or connect with me through the Facebook or Instagram accounts. So next time when I come back, I will be coming back with some other interesting video. So till then, I am signing off for today. Thanking you. Bye bye.